Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something that's relatively new but applied in an old fashion, and that is the concept of AI. Okay, so we're going to go over some of the things that what I've been going through and how it applies to some of the things that we used to do, but now with this new technology, because technology always is what helps improve all the things that we used to do with anime. So before again, I want to remind everyone to go down, click like, and click subscribe. I mean, this is just a simple like. Helps YouTube promote the videos and that kind of stuff. So that's always, that's one way that you can help. That's always really good. Plus, another thing that you can do is if you have any good ideas or any things that you think we should try, put in the comments below. Because again, comments also helps the YouTube algorithm as well. So again, I'm gonna be going over some of the ideas that I tried. But I mean, if you think that something should be tried, yeah, put it in the comments below, and then then maybe if I get a chance, I'll throw it through the processor and see if something comes up, right? The other thing that you can do if you'd like to support me financially, I also have the super thanks buttons activated below, as well as the links for the Patreon and the PayPal down below. Okay, and that's for all the subscribers and all the extra content. Now, of course, this episode, obviously, I can only put the YouTube safe stuff here. I'll be making the similar episode with all the stuff that I can't put on YouTube on the subscriber site, okay? As well as the new videos I'm doing on the subscriber site. I'm also going to be talking about my trip to China. Again, because of the little pinks and the stuff like that, and all the bots that China's running around, I can't be posting that stuff on YouTube. So again, I have to post that stuff on my the subscribe channel. Okay, so again, if you want to get that information and those episodes, do subscribe and get to those on there. All right, so please, if you haven't had it, I do thank you for your support, and so if you're interested in those, do check those links out. Okay, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about how AI is going to help us do things that we used to do in the past, but had a really hard time doing. And that is basically coming up with some new ideas, new concepts, and new sort of cross jokes and stuff like that we used to do in the past. But of course now, that now instead of requiring us to do out the laborious task of actually planning these things out, the AI can help us to do that. Okay. And so then I'm going to go over some of the things that I've managed to try in this episode, and show you what some of the results. Again, I can only post the safe stuff here because obviously, when dealing with some of this stuff, and how you control the sliders and that kind of stuff. Obviously, some stuff that can be generated obviously won't be safe for YouTube. So again, I'm going to put those on the other channel. So again, you can get those with the subscription to help you out with those. Okay, and then you can get the better content. Right? You know what I mean. Anyway, so I'm sure you're really anxious. So without further delay, let's get into some of the things I managed to do, and I'll explain the process, through that as I'll show you the pictures and the stuff I go through. Okay, and I'm gonna probably do a few episodes of this because I said as I come up with new ideas, then I'll post more episodes. And if you have any good ideas, put it in the comments below, and then maybe I'll be able to just generate it. Again, I'm not actually no expert at this stuff, but hey, I like to play around and see what I can make. All right, and then hopefully you like the result. Okay, so without further delay, let's begin.
Okay, so first to start by just saying I ran across this site called Civit AI or CIVITAI.com, and the way I came across is that I was doing some research for Gundam, and one of the searches and one of the pictures that I got hit for the RX-78 Gundam was a picture that was generated from this site, and it was a picture of a Gundam Girl. I'm going, oh, okay, this is interesting. So obviously the picture led me to this site, and I'm looking at the different pictures that this person had generated for a Gundam Girl, and basically, I did an episode previously about mole anthropomorphism, and basically the concept of how people used to have spare Gundam kits, And of course, maybe they couldn't figure out or how to build them, or maybe it's actually a kit that was broken, and so they have to get pieces of a Gundam, and but not enough pieces that they could put back together again to make the Gundam. So they decided to do some other things, and this is how partially how this molamorphism worked. They figured, okay, well, no wait, I've got this sort of figurine or a doll that of a particular female figure. Why don't I take these pieces of Gundam that I got and kind of work them into the thing? So maybe if you've got some extra arms or legs or maybe a head, we can take the head off of the RX-78 Gundam and put the doll head, the Barbie head or whatever on that, and then all of a sudden we kind of have a Gundam Girl, right? Part Gundam, part girl type of thing, right? And so, this is how we did a whole bunch of things. We did, there's a whole, the episode which I again talk about some of the collabs that sort of happened. And so I'm looking at the software going, well, I wonder if I could try to make something like a Gundam Girl and see if I can, see what kind of results sort of happen. So that's sort of how I started this entire process. Okay, so this is me, one of the first images, and as I said, they managed to locate and put a girl's head onto a Green Gundam. But now, this is the issue that I have. There's too much Gundam now. It's just basically a woman's head on a mecha body. And so I look at some of the other examples and to see what other people have managed to do. Let's see if I can sort of modify and put better words and that kind of thing to actually, generate a kind of more MS girl, more girl, less Gundam. Okay, so the sort of way I decided to do this is basically I need to pick up better models. I decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna pick up Tifa, all right. And the best way to explain it is, basically I have one set of pictures which is what a Gundam should look like, and I have another set of pictures which is what Tifa should look like, okay. And if we can imagine it like mixing two colors, like blue and yellow, we can mix them together to make green. But what kind of green do we get? It's sort of based on how much of one or the other. So maybe if we used 80% blue and maybe 20% yellow, you're going to make sort of like an aqua green sort of thing, right? Whereas if you did the other way around, you make 80% yellow and like only 20% blue, then you're going to probably make something like lemon lime or something green, okay? So this is the same kind of idea, right? If I weighted 80% Gundam and 20% Tifa, then I'm going to end up with a lot of mecha parts and that kind of stuff, and it'll look more like a Gundam. Whereas if I did the other way around, if I did 80% Tifa and 20% Gundam, it'll seem more like just a regular Tifa, but with maybe some armor and that kind of stuff, so it looks like a Gundam. And that's kind of the effect I want to get. I want to make it like a Gundam Girl, where it's more girl and less Gundam, but you can recognize the Gundam parts on the girl kind of idea, right? So it's a really natural balance, and you got to try to figure out what it is that we're trying to do here. So so this is sort of the beginning of the journey. So these are some of the first sort of shots I got when I just started mixing the Gundam with the Tifa. Now, of course, what will happen is that the more I make it look more on the Tifa side, less and less things of the Gundam will start appearing, and of course then you'll see more and more things on that are characteristics of what Tifa looks like. And of course this is where the YouTube safe rules are come into play, and I can no longer show you anything if I keep moving the slider that way. So again, if you want to see what I've done, then you'll have to go to the Patreon or the PayPal, and I'll put it with the subscriber episodes there. You guys will get the treat for that. And I'll just finish off this topic of Gundam Tifa with just some good pictures that sort of came out by accident in the hundreds of images that I had to sort. I mean, I went through spent probably a good 8 hours plugging the numbers in and just trying, and then tweak this a little bit, try again, tweak this again, try it again, tweak this a bit, and try it again. Like so, I've had to sort through hundreds of pictures, just to give you just these samples here. And again, all the stuff that I can't show you, I'm gonna have to put on the Patreon. Okay, so I finished with Gundam, so I thought, okay, well, what else can I do? And so I thought, well, hey, maybe Macross, I'll do want to, do like you know, a VF1S girl or kind of Valkyrie girl or something, which I thought might be really cool. But then then I noticed when I going through and trying to find the what they call the LoRa file, which has all the samples of the images and that to work on. No one's made one for that, so maybe if you guys know how to make a LoRa file, then I can actually try that. But yeah, so that shoots that idea. I thought, okay, well, what else can I do? Transformers, they have Starscream. He's kind of like a, transformable fighter Valkyrie type of guy. Maybe I can use him as a model. So then, Transformers is a bigger thing, right? Big movie and that kind of stuff for Transformers. So I thought, okay, well, they should have a Starscream, and fortunately they do. So I thought, okay, all right, let's take Starscream and let's take Tifa, and let's try to make a, Starscream girl out of that. And so as usual, I start at the beginning and just try to start it as balanced as possible. And then as I realize that okay, I am overloading the character with too much Starscream, and so let's try to move the slider a little bit more further towards the girl side. Let's see if we can kind of get a sort of natural balance with the light sort of in between the two. And of course, as I do more and more, it gets to a little less and less and more girl, as it were, and then it gets to the point where okay, I'm not going to be able to show any more of this. So again, the rest of it you're going to have to go to the Patreon to get the rest of that.
Okay, hope you found that really interesting. And again, I can only post some of the really safe stuff here, obviously. To give you an example of what I managed to do and come up with these sort of wacky ideas. As you can see, using AI makes things a lot easier. But man, I tell you, it's the process of getting the AI to do what you want, and that it still needs a lot to work with, and it still takes several sort of hours playing around with the algorithm to make it work. But sometimes something good comes up. All right, so again. Stay tuned for some more because I will be trying to do some more results. And again, if I can't fit it into this episode, I'll have to go to the next one. And again, all the special content, I know the stuff that you are interested in, the stuff that's not safe for YouTube, I've got on. So again, check out the Patreon or the PayPal for that. All right. So until next time, I will see you again.